talk about financial investments. But here's a trend that's caught young Indian investors' fancy: investing in artworks and collectibles abroad. For those who don't fancy art, rare jewelry is also an option. Indeed, apart from art and jewelry, auctions are regularly held in more than 70 categories, including artifacts, wines, celebrity memorabilia, and even rare sneakers. But why invest in alternate assets? When the pandemic derailed many investment avenues and reduced regular expenses, ultra-rich Indians started acquiring art. Now, these rare collectibles help investors diversify their portfolio into assets that are agnostic to stock markets and interest rate cycles. While the risk is high, there is also potential for high returns if you pick up the right piece. So what about returns? We spoke to a wealth manager who described a masterpiece by Sri Lankan artist Senaka Sananyake that adorned a wall in his home, along with art by Indian artist Seema Kohli, garnering 200% returns over 7 years. Tayyab Mehta's figure with bird garnered 24.3 crores at another auction. So how can you invest in these collectibles? Well, you have to access works of art through auction houses and galleries or wealth management firms. The initial investment could be high. For instance, Mongolian gilt bronze figurines dating back to the 17th century and Chinese jade discs and animal figures will feature in Christie's New York auction, where the bidding will start at a whopping $24,000. Determining the estimate and reserve price of a collectible involves many parameters: the art piece's condition, the year in which it was made, its medium, as well as the artist's importance and reputation. All of these must be considered. Often artworks and jewelry pieces are auctioned as basket of products or as a lot. Now, jewelers in India these days too are selling rare jewelry under a separate banner. Being a non-traditional form of investment, Indians need to first bid, then remit the funds abroad and collect the artwork from an international port if the auction house assistance isn't available. Remember, when you file the remittance forms with banks, there's no classification for art, even though shares and property are mentioned very clearly as a category. And your troubles don't end there. Customs clearance isn't a breeze due to the conflicts about the valuation of an artwork. Often the customs officers are curious whether there has been any underreporting of prices on which you have to pay customs duty. They also check if the invoices are valid, as many find it hard to believe that a painting or an artwork could be worth crores of rupees. Your expenditure doesn't come to an end when the hammer comes down on the auction. You've got to pick up your prize and get it shipped to your India home quickly. Auction houses have strict timelines by which you have to claim your prize. If you get late picking up your artwork, there could be additional charges. International auction houses could also levy storage charges if the artwork is not collected within a specified time. Now, these could range up to 13 to 20% per annum, charged on a monthly basis to pay for the storage houses that are specially designed to store precious artwork, and also the insurance costs. Additionally, the RBI has rules around remittance. You could be questioned about pending transactions if you do not produce the relevant documents to the bank. And not just the storage charges, you could incur additional costs to acquire a piece from the destination port while dealing in international art. Import-related duties, taxes, delivery, and any other charges wherever applicable will be directly paid by the buyer. All packing, insurance, shipping, handling charges, all of that will be borne by the buyer. Bear in mind the escalation in prices. Apart from the hammer price, there will be an additional 24% import charge, which comprises of custom duty and IGST applicable to bring the artwork to India. The clearance charges from the port would be additional. You also have to engage a good clearing agent to help you once the artwork or jewelry is at the port. Also note that these investments aren't available for public trading, and this also means they're unregulated by RBI, SEBI, and even globally by most regulators such as the US SEC. Apart from assessing the condition of the paintings, auction houses check an art piece's legacy through publishing records in books and exhibition catalogs, and consult a reputed art history expert. A reputed auction house takes care of the authenticity typically. Experts say that the invoice you get from them is proof enough that the painting's legacy has been verified. So there you have it, a complete checklist on how to acquire or invest in these alternate classes of investment like art, jewelry, and other rare pieces.